Andy Serkis, congratulations on your performance in The Batman. You were bloody
Oh,
brilliant.
that's very sweet of you. Thank you.
Um, how did you first find out that Matt Reeves was going to remake the Batman and that you were in consideration?
Well, actually, it was during the post-production period of War for the Planet of the Apes that Matt first started talking about it, sort of in the latter stages.
No way.
And yeah, and he said, look, there's a strong possibility I'm going to be making a Batman movie, and then we started to talk about it, and he said, look, and I've seen you over the last few years and your performances that we've shot and the emotion of your performances, and then I've seen your face gradually disappear behind a CG mask, and I want you to be in this, and I want to see your face. So he asked me if I would do Alfred, and then he, sort of as time went by and he created the role and wrote the script, it sort of turned out that it would be the version of Alfred which actually did contain a sort of a deal of emotion.
I,
So
I,
does that
I
sound
think I think this is why this is probably one of my favorite roles that you've played, because I kept watching it going, is that Andy Serkis? Am I actually seeing his face on screen? But I was just wondering, what did you feel like when you were all suited up and you did that walk down to set, and what was going through your mind before you heard that very first action?
Well, of course, you're always nervous when you first start filming, because you're making a million decisions and they're committed. So you've thought about it very, of course. You've gone into great detail, sort of hypothetically, but then when you actually take that first step and you start doing, and your mouth opens and the character's speaking, it is quite nerve-wracking. And obviously, there have been some other incredible performances of the role that you're playing, and that really stand the test of time, and that are people emblazoned in people's memories, and as great pieces of acting and work. And so you have to sort of shift all of that and kind of go, right, this is my take on it and our take on it, and this is our Batman and this is our story. So you then kind of refocus and start to flesh it out.
You're used to being in big films, you're used to having to keep a lot of secrets. But Andy, how do you do it when you're involved in something like this and exciting things happen? Don't you want to share it with people? How do you stop yourself from sharing?
The thing is, what I can't bear to be told spoilers, and I actually don't really enjoy watching trailers for movies, because I like to.
Me too.
The story is so important, and if you kind of know the story before you've seen it, it completely destroys it. So I'm good at keeping secrets, and I like keeping secrets from people about, although I do get hounded, and often if you're doing press for another movie, people will go, the amount of questions about, for instance, while I was promoting Venom, Let There Be Carnage, that people wanted to know about Batman, and it's just like, oh, whoa, just one at a time, please. So yeah, it's really important not to spoil a movie for people, I think.
There's a conversation that Alfred has with Bruce, and he says, you don't care about your family's legacy. And then Bruce says, what I'm doing is my family's legacy. This is now going to be part of Batman. What legacy do you think this will have in Batman's world, this film?
I mean, I think what Matt has done is create a very special piece of the time and history of this franchise, and choosing to locate it in year 2, when this, where Bruce is still in the nascent stages of finding who Batman is and what Batman can do, and what he's seeking to do with it, and rejecting that legacy that you're talking about, and therefore rejecting Alfred to a great degree. And then the Gotham that Matt has created, being a tangible Gotham that we can really see around us anywhere you look in any city, with any form of government, that level of corruption and greed and lack of social equity. You can have those stories, but it's set in a mythic world. So you actually are able to discuss those things. And I think he does it so accurately. I think what Matt has done is beautifully kind of like essentialize his arguments and actually allow the fairy tale to continue, but at the same time tell a very personal story and tell a very powerful story about where we're at.
Yeah, well, I was skeptical going in. By the end of it, I was like, can I have more? So I hope, Andy, I'll be talking to you for a sequel.
Excellent.